Hello, what's up, Carnage? On a different game, short stream. Only really started it up out of boredom. You play Fortnite? Damn, yeah. This is like the first game I ever took like semi-seriously. So, I'm half decent at it. I'm not on HSR because unfortunately there isn't anything I can do. Last stream we finished all the events. I could try to go for like low cycle clears, but I'm not knowledgeable enough on AV and speed thresholds yet. So I probably have to look up a video on that. I don't I don't want to pretend like I'm really good at the game when I'm not. Otherwise, I'd be making guide videos. I think I'd make a lot more guide videos if I actually knew what I was like fully talking about in terms of speed tuning and stuff. I'm doing HSR, want to pull for Aglaya as my first DPS, and I already have E1 Sunday. Oh, nice. That's a pretty good pickup. E1 Sunday as well. It's a good investment. Sunday's probably going to be used by a bunch of the newer DPSs in 3.x. They all pretty much want him as a best in slot. Unfortunately, I have to go for Sunday as well, which is unfortunately gonna be a close call on whether or not I can get his light cone or not. I think it's okay, Kunal. If he's not gonna try and go for Castris, I think it's actually fine to pull for Aglaya. And he can probably just get Feign on down the line, who will probably use a different team. Because if he gets Castris, he's gonna run into a problem where Sunday is really needed on Aglaya's team, and he's probably also gonna be really needed on Castris' team. Aglaya wants him for the energy, and Castris wants him for the action advance and advancing the memo sprite. Oh, you're gonna pull for Castris as well, really? Well, good luck, my man. Iman, I think 100% you should build Remembrance MC. Because even if Remembrance MC so-called gets power crept, you're just gonna transfer the relics on your Remembrance MC to like the next support that takes over Remembrance MC. Like that's basically all you have to do. Yeah. RMC is gonna be used by like any of the Memo Sprite users or Remembrance DPSs basically, to put it simply. Like in a lot of cases, Remembrance MC is like better than Bronya and Sparkle for a lot of the upcoming teams by like a good amount. He will get power crept, but probably like late 3.x. It's going to be a while before we get another true damage support that can as well give action advance. Like, that's what I did. All I did for my Remembrance MC was I half built his traces. I only leveled up the ones that are important, which is Mems. And I transferred my Bronya's relics to my RMC. And that's like all I had to do, and I just called it a day. Fortnite? Yeah. There's nothing to do on HSR. I don't want to just run around. No, I don't have Miku. Should I save? Should I use my guarantee on Robin to complete my Fei Xiao team or go for Herda? Since I don't have a pure fiction DPS, I abandoned my Acheron. I don't know. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I am being slightly affected by like people just bombarding my videos with like shitting on my opinion, so I don't even want to say like objectively anymore or give my opinion on anything. But Herda is a way better pull than Robin currently. Because the thing is, if you get Herda, you should know that she's going to get 2 best in slot supports patch after patch. So if you can't exactly afford them, I mean, if you can at least afford one, which I think the best one will be Tribby, I think it'll be fine. I think Robin is going to go out of meta in 3.x. Unless you run like sustainless. That's just my opinion. Because a lot of the new DPSs focus a lot less on attack scaling and a lot more on things like damage bonus, defense shred, res pen, vulnerability. Like, they much prefer those types of debuffs and buffs than they do, what's it called, Robin's attack scaling. No, I understand, Draco. I understand. I understand, Draco. For the majority of the part of like the people who hate on me, it's been people who have been hating on me since literally I first made my channel. And then the other like half are people who just don't like me saying shit that's like bad about any character. Like, I might be in a bad mood at times. I won't pretend like I won't be, but at the end of the day, it's just a fucking game. And it's never serious enough for me to like truly like personally hate someone over it at all. I can get Tribby too. Vega, if you can get Tribby, I would not get Robin. I'm gonna be honest. I would not get Robin if you get Tribby. So yeah, if you go for the Herda and can get Tribby, I don't think Robin is like. And also, like, investing Fei Xiao, like, it would be different. Hear me out, right? It would be different if you already owned Robin and you were going for the E1. Because I think E1 Robin with the Fei Xiao follow-up comp is genuinely, like, gonna be good for a while. But, like, normal Robin without the Light Cone, without E1, with the Fei Xiao comp is, like, I'm not gonna lie, just getting Herta by herself is currently performing than the Facial better than the Facial comp. Like straight up. No, I know Starlight. Like that's the reason why it gets on my nerves so much, like more than it should be, because even on the titles of my videos, right? I'll put something like V1 My Day in Tribi, my thoughts on it. Or when I'm not talking about a certain version, like I did on my video of 5 a.m. thoughts on Tribi and My Day, and I was talking about their future potential instead, I didn't specify the version because I wasn't talking about their current strength level. But what the people in my comments are telling me to do is to just completely stop making leak content when I just do that shit because I'm bored and it's fun to have people to talk about it. Like, that's the only reason I make that content. My videos aren't monetized. I don't make my videos for money at all. Like, I just do it to talk with other people and have, like, their opinions on, like, how well he could age or, like, his current strength level and how it holds up. Like, the certain comps you could get with him, right? But for the most part, instead I just get, like, people completely shitting on me, basically. Saying that, like, I'm doing it all for money. I don't even have a video monetized. Thank you, Ahmed. I much appreciate that. I hope you're having a good day as well. Linkshot took everything from me. Sorry to hear that, Grizzly. Yeah, I literally just made a community post because I don't think I'm going to make a video on my day until he gets, like, buffed enough anymore. If he doesn't get buffed in his V3, I don't think he's going to get that massively buffed in V4 or V5. So I might just stop making videos on my day specifically, and only talk about like Tribi. When is Casters coming? First half of 3.2. Monetize the videos? I should at some point. The only reason I haven't yet is because I have this weird like hate for ads on anything. And so I know if I get partnered with YouTube, I think YouTube like forcefully will add ads whether you want to or not. And I kind of don't want that, but I probably will at some point, 100%. But currently, I don't need money, so it's not much of an issue for me not running ads. I'd rather like the viewer experience be better, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm just doing this shit for like shits and giggles. Yeah, Sunday will probably rerun with Castris. There's actually a good likelihood of it. I've been saying this for like a long ass time at this point, but after it was leaked that Sunday would be like one of the best in slot supports with Castris, and Castris would want to be low speed, meaning she prioritizes action advance more. I've been predicting that Sunday will rerun on her banner. That's the thing, Andrina. An argument a lot of people are using against me is, oh, he's 100% getting buffed in the V3. But the thing is that that's not even true. Like, many cases, characters either got nerfed after V3 or on V3, cough cough Aglaia. Aglaia received a nerf in her V3 and onwards, while Herta received buffs. And Jiaoqiu also only got continuously nerfed version after version. So it doesn't matter, even when they don't look the best. It's like a 50-50 chance whether or not they get buffed. Yeah, unfortunately, I think I am gonna have to skip a Noxa. There's no way I get lucky enough to pull 4 characters 2 patches in a row. So I think I'll have to skip a Noxa because I want to get Tribby, and then after Tribby, I want Casters and Sunday. And even if I do have some pulls left over, I'd like to use it on Sunday's Lycone over a Noxa. Unless a Noxa is like that big of a fucking game changer, and maybe Castris isn't skill point hungry, so I don't need Sunday's Lycone, then I might go for a Noxa over Sunday's Lycone. How many 50-50s have you won? 3, I think. So in my last like 11 or 12 50-50s, maybe even 13. No, I think it's 13 now, yeah. So in my last 13 50-50s, I've won 3, I think. Once on Aventurine, once on Firefly, and recently once on the Herda. That's understandable, Andrina. I also wouldn't count on 50-50 wins, but I'm a little more cautious than the average person because of how many 50-50s I've lost. Yeah, I think the fake collab should be, I think, 3.4 or 3.5. I think it's one of the two. Because both of those patches fit for Q3 2025. Did he really just... Bro, he just instantly left. Yes, the dragon for casters has a memo sprite. Like, that dragon she has is a memo sprite. She is a remembrance DPS. I think Tribby will get stronger than Time Mac. I've already given my opinion on this a few times already, but I think Tribby's value lies in any team that has more than one DPS and doesn't like need attack scaling. So I think I've mentioned this before. I think a Noxa will increase Tribby's value by a significant amount. Because then her res pen plus like everything else plus her own damage, like everything adds up, right? She does damage, she gives buffs, res pen, she gives 30% damage vulnerability. Like all those buffs are really really good for duo DPS comps. Yeah, I saw some people speculating that Phanon might be a future enemy and that he might go like rogue or some shit. I'm not sure how accurate it is though. Hello, Kem. Yeah, exactly. Like it's rumored a Noxa. Like if a Noxa's new leak of that like boss fight is anything to go off of, he should give some type of defense shred. So you have a Noxa giving defense shred, you have Tribby giving res pen and vulnerability, And then Anaxa himself is also supposed to do damage as well. Like, that's just a recipe for success at that point. You know what I'm saying? Is Death Shred not a nihility thing? I don't think anything is a nihility thing anymore, though. Like, I'm going to be honest, HSR stopped giving a fuck about what a certain path does a long time ago. Like, straight up. They can easily just give an erudition character, like, maybe it's defense shred whenever he uses his ult or some bullshit. Like, we have sustains, Ling Sha, who can literally inflict, like, debuffs for extra break damage and, like, debuffs in general, which can be good for, like, Acheron and stuff. Yeah, Fugue Z2 is literally a DDD. There's a lot of cases where they just don't give a shit about paths anymore. They stole my new Acheron support, man. Hey, a lot of people were going crazy with the Ice Nihility leaks. Yeah, like, Tribby does damage as a Harmony. Like, they just don't give a shit anymore, bro. What is this lag? Good evening, what's up, Dark? Yeah, Tribby's Lycone is good. It's best in slot with Robin, too. Like, if you're thinking of getting a Lycone and you have a Robin and you want to get, like, Robin's Lycone, Tribby's is actually better. How you doing? I'm doing good, Dark. How about you? Yeah, I think Herda will be good for the entirety of 3.x. Like, getting two best in slots back to back is, like, really good. I also want to see if I can get lucky again on the Lycone banner and get Tribby's Lycone for the better ult up time. Oh, really, Dark? Are you going to miss it? I mean, they do it on purpose, Chem. They do it on purpose. Like, the leakers will always gatekeep the more hyped up characters' leaks to drip feed. They do it every single time. Sparkle's downfall needs to be studied? Yeah. Sparkle is not a well-aged character in the slightest. I've seen a lot of people say that Tribute would be the next Sparkle, but the issue is that, like, team buffers always have more value than, like, hyper carry buffers. And anyways, Tribby is going to replace Ruan Mei in most teams. Yo. Bless you, bro. Thanks, Kim. They might add new endgame. There's one after each new planet. Okay. I mean, I don't know if they'll add new endgame. The thing is, like, new endgame is fine, but they always reduce the amount of jades that endgame gives usually. And if they do increase it, they then decrease the amount you can get from events in a patch. Which is like, it's like they're adding more work, and I low-key don't want that. Robin downfall is very easily possible. Like, people only deny it until it happens. Like, this happens every fucking time. Like, all they have to do is just make DPSs that don't rely. Like, even Herda. Herda can still take advantage of attack percent, but she still prefers people like RMC and Tribby. Like, completely. Like, Robin downfall is very easily possible. They just have to stop making characters that are like really take advantage of attack, and that's basically it. Like, this just always happens, bro. People cannot believe it until it happens. I mean, no, GG, not really. Unless you just want to pull a character because you like them. No, I didn't play Shinova. Here we go with this bullshit. I mean, maybe Exodius. What path Phanon might be? The leaker said destruction. Yeah, Ruan Mei has break, so she has a niche. But Robin also has a niche with follow-up. It's just that break is probably more future-proof, and there's a lot more break characters. It should be good in a Fei Shao team. From what I've heard, half decent, but the only time you'd really run her is sustainless, apparently. Like, Robin's follow-up buffs are just too good to get rid of, unfortunately. No, yeah, I know, Andrina. Like, destruction is usually like a placeholder path, but it does make sense for Phanon to be like destruction. Like, it wouldn't be anything crazy. Phanon with a unicorn. Yeah, I don't think that'd probably be in the game, not gonna lie. I mean, maybe. I'd like to be pleasantly surprised, but once again, I like to say this one more time. If there's anyone interested in like a more in-depth analysis on why my day isn't looking the greatest currently, I did a community post about what was their name again? Almighty Shogun. If anyone wants like a more like in-depth analysis on why the leakers don't like my day currently. Got any midday backlash? Way too fucking much. Way too much. I say I want my day to be weaker than the Herda, and people think that means that I want him to power creep. I don't think people even know what power creep means. Power creep means a character stronger than the strongest character by a decent margin. Not just stronger than older characters. Do you think Caster's dragon will be fully next to her? I'm not sure. From the way it looked in her like gameplay teaser, I think it's more so that she like summons it at some point, either with like an ult or enhanced skill. Yeah, I'd also like my day to be like slightly weaker than the Herda at minimum. It just makes sense. Because the end game continuously gets harder. So why would anyone pull for a DPS and make it harder on themselves? That's weaker. Is my day stronger than the Herda? No, not at all. Not even fucking close. Not even fucking close. Especially not in like any team where he's outside of his optimal like team with Sunday and like the sustains. Like if you remove Sunday from my day's team, like it's just another case where the performance just drops and it's just so bad. Imagine being a nobody being stronger than it. I mean, my day isn't even a nobody. Like he's one of the Chrysos heirs, and he's literally like basically the god of war in that shit. Like he is genuinely like a high tier character. Well, yeah, Andrina, but there's a reason. It's not the player's fault. Like, people say this over and over again. Oh, why do players expect the next character to be stronger? But it's because Hoyo keeps making the end game harder. Like, over and over again. So when it takes someone like 2 months to get enough pulls to get one 5-star, they're going to want to spend it on a character that lasts them longer. Yeah, like, that's my entire argument against it. Like, the only reason people want stronger characters is because of the endgame inflation. Like, this is literally the same case in Wuwa. In Wuwa, when people ask me, should I pull Carlotta or Zeshi? Zeshi is obviously the objectively better pull. But I tell them, you can pull either one because it doesn't fucking matter. Because the power creep in Wuwa is like non-existent. Like, every time someone asks me for pulling advice in Wuwa, I say you can pull whoever the fuck you want. I never say the same thing for HSR though, and it's for a good reason. Yeah, UV, like you can use like Jian and Chang Li and still clear the end game and like TOA and Wuwa just fine. Like, Jin Shi's been the strongest in the game for like 6 months at this point. Yeah, exactly, TA. Like, that's why I brought up Genshin and like the Hu Tao argument so much. Like, someone could have taken a 2-year break off the game, come back, and their team back in like 2.x or 3.x in Genshin and Leeway could completely still clear the end game without an issue. Like, yeah, I agree, Andrina. Like, it's not necessarily harder, like, skill wise or mechanical wise. It's just harder in terms of, like, HP inflation. I completely agree. I pulled E2 Firefly from my E1 Link Shot to do the damage. Hey, DPS Slingshot. DPS Slingshot, guys. If you haven't fallen for the propaganda yet, don't forget it. E1 Link Shot, number one break DPS. Can Hoyoverse still fix the power creep issue and HP inflation? Literally easily. Easily. All they have to do is go like 3 or 4 patches in a row, maybe even longer, releasing characters that are either only slightly weaker or slightly stronger with like way less HP inflation. And it's completely like they fix it. It's that easy, right? They just have to prove me wrong, They have to prove me wrong in thinking that Castris, the anniversary drop, will be significantly stronger than every other DPS. And make her just as strong as like the Herda, basically. And then every other DPS that comes after, make them as strong the same. That's all they have to do. Like, if you didn't believe in power creep, HSR's HP inflation has gone up by like 100% in the last 4 MOCs. The last 4 MOCs is only like 3 patches, by the way. And it's gone up 100% in HP inflation. On Fei Xiao's patch, the max health, the total health of the entirety of MOC was 6.4 million. It's now at like 15 million. HP inflation is the laziest game. Yeah, exactly. Like, and this guy has no clue what he's doing. What's the total HP for Kafka on 13.1? I think like 15 something million. We went from 16 million in like 3.0 to 15 million in 3.1. The thing is though, you might be deceived by the HP inflation actually going down for once, but the reason for that and why it actually doesn't make a difference and the new one's harder is because the Nikador boss in the 15 million HP one takes like double to triple the amount of damage than normal when you break his armor and like his spears. But in the 3.1 MOC, like there's no bullshit like that. Like there actually is the same bullshit. There's a boss with a similar mechanic, but it's nowhere near as easy as the Nikador boss. So it's actually like you have to do more effective damage in the 3.1 MOC than the 3.0 one. No, exactly, Mini. That's why I've never bought in shards. That's why I've never bought in jades and HSR. I've only bought in the battle pass. The battle pass is usually a luxury at that. I don't always get the battle pass. And the express pass is usually what I always get. Nikador is the easiest boss, yeah. You want to know something funny, Andrina, though? You want to know something funny? I'm pretty sure Nikador is like the #1 My Day counter in this game. Like, because Nikador's speed is like non-existent and he almost never takes a turn. I think that's My Day's worst boss. Because My Day wants to be attacked. I think that's why they put Nikador in 3.0 but not 3.1. Yeah, hunk characters as well. Although I have seen what's it called? Fei Xiao. I think there's a Fei Xiao zero cycle of it. But if I had to guess without having watched it, probably Sustainless Branya almost every single time. Really, Mini? Hey, I used to struggle on that Aventurine boss on my old account in the story. So I can't even say nothing. Like, I had Herda to clear him, so. Do you think Cyrene replaces Remembrance MC? Probably not. The only leaks for Cyrene is that she might be like a Doc character. I don't see why a Doc character would replace RMC. Aventuring wasn't that hard, bro. It was at the very beginning of the game, at the beginning of my old account, and I didn't have any characters or like any relics. Got Lyco for my Herda. Nice, Dark. What do you think about the newer last two iterations of the SU update? I think it's brain dead. I'm not even sure. I don't know what they exactly did, like, at all. Aventurine being the Gamba boss, Gabby's worst enemy? Yeah, it was not looking good. Where is this guy? Is he seriously hiding from me? Probably talking about True Sting, yeah. I think I'm playing a lot older people in Fortnite right now. Because everyone's just instantly leaving after I kill them a few times. Yeah, there is a buff to get rid of, like, there's a buff for effect res. But, yeah. It does get rid of the attack buff that you'd get with Herda. Is there no new 4-star character 3.0? We do have a rumored 4-star abundance somewhere in 3.x, but I'm not sure where. Like, I don't know where. Like, there isn't a confirmed release date for them. But all we know is that the leaker said it would be my day's best in slot sustain. Whatever that means. Yeah, Aventurine got fixed. Aventurine already got fixed. The second 3.0 hit. Will you stream your polls in the Lottery of Jades? Probably not, because it's like an incredibly simple event. It's not worth streaming for. Did they leave again? No. Wow. I've also, like, in terms of, like, the power creep issue, I've already put a community post of 2.0 Pride Win tier list and 3.0. And Jing Liu went from the #1 DPS in the game and to not even top, like, tier 1.5. Like, not even top 10 without an ice weakness. My Ho-Ho can't keep up, man. Hey, Ho-Ho stocks are going up. But Ho-Ho against that Sting and APOC, yeah, it's not the best. It's not her best matchup. Luckily, I have 4 sustains on my account, so I won't have to worry about not having a good enough sustain for something. Should I build a Remembrance MC if I have Sunday built already? Yes. Because, like, for example, My Day, for example, Aglaya, For example, Casters. Their best in slot supports are going to be a combo of Sunday and Remembrance MC. Which four? Ling Sha, Fu Xuan, Huo Huo, and Aventurine. Thoughts on the HSR story? I don't have many thoughts because I skipped most of it. I just have like small nitpicky thoughts on like the conciseness of it. Like it was a little too fillery for me. And even though I've already said this many times, I really appreciate the puzzles in Amphorius. I like them a lot more than like the other ones in Penacony and Zhengzhou Lufu. However, there's just like too much of them. Like I think there's too many puzzles like put in the thing. Yeah, like I wouldn't complain if they just added a skip button, I'm not gonna lie. Like it would be much better if they just added a skip button. Yeah, exactly. Like I don't think the story's bad, but it's like I was really like I was interested in it for like the first couple hours, but then it just dragged on way too long for me. Yeah, Pentagony puzzles were boring to me. I didn't like them all that much. Yeah, but you don't even need HMC E6. You only really need him E4. Why is my game? Oh my god, my game's lagging. I think my least favorite puzzles of Penacony were Hanu. I didn't like Hanu. Kind of wish Hoyo would buff. Yeah, it would be nice if they just buffed all the characters. Like, they gave Jing Yuan like a million indirect buffs and direct buffs over time. Like, just do that with every character, but no. Jing Yuan's just a favorite child, I guess. Yeah, do you guys think that, like, the reason they buffed Jing Yuan so much is because they already had, like, the summon meta planned a long time ago? So that's why he received so many, like, indirect buffs? It was just to sell, like, Sunday better? Bro knew he would get buffs before his release. Yep. I mean, yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, Zhao Q, it's hard to say because of Zhao Q. But then again, Jing Yuan basically got his own Zhao Q with Sunday. So yeah. Nice, Bowsette. Wow. Herta does not need her light cone, she just prefers it. Like every single other character in the game. What a sniff. I'm gonna skip 3.1 to Sunday and Castris. Yeah, that was my original plan too. However, getting Tribby is gonna benefit me more than Herta Z2 probably in the long run. Probably not Iman, no. I genuinely think Blade is like completely in the trenches currently. Like he might genuinely be like the worst limited DPS without a doubt. I can't believe they're rerunning Blade. Yeah. I mean, the only way I see it is like an HP support, but I don't know when they're gonna add an HP support. Like there isn't even a leak for that yet. Oh, he only wanted to kill me once. Yeah, they're 100% falling off Kunai. Or Kunal. Yeah, most people would pull My Day. He has a better design, better animations, stronger. Yeah, but the thing is, Alam is even if like people always say this, right? Like for example, Sunday is a best in slot with a lot of older characters as well. However, the issue is that you're always gonna have a Sunday on a newer DPS that can take better advantage of him at the end of the day. Like that's kind of the issue. Like the DPS's best in slot is the support, but the support's best in slot isn't with that DPS. If that makes any sense. I think they should start adding old like 1.x units in the standard banner. However, they're probably not going to do that. for a while. I mean, My Day is kind of Blade Pro Max, but he's just not good enough. Yeah, they upgraded the new boss's animations. I saw that. Yeah, Sparkle propaganda was crazy. Like I've said it before, but Sparkle was like the most hyped harmony in the entirety of the game because at the time Ruan Mei was the strongest harmony, and like Harmony completely broke the game because she was the first one, and people assumed that like Sparkle would be the next meta defining harmony. Yeah, I've also thought that Hyacine could be like a really good HP support, yeah. Yeah, that's the issue, right? Like people are so happy, right? Like, oh my god, My Day being ass means that the inflation and power creep is suddenly gonna stop. But like, I say this like I'll put my soul on the line. Castris will drop as the strongest DPS in the entirety of the game. Like, there's a very high chance of it. Like, it doesn't matter how weak My Day is. He'll only look weak to sell Castris more. Just got recommended a video with AI voice. Yeah. AI voice channels are kind of like free ass money. So it makes sense. The testers are not happy with My Day. Yeah, they aren't. They aren't. People are already telling me about it like this morning, but like those videos only further confirm it. The beta testers do not like My Day in the slightest. It's not even like that he's just weak. They find him incredibly fucking boring to play and way too restrictive. Like, he's pretty much the opposite of Boot Hill. He's pretty much the opposite of Boot Hill. Yeah, like apparently the beta testers really hate his auto battle because there's times where hitting like a certain enemy or not killing a certain enemy will allow for like obviously you can generate more skill points or get an extra turn or some bullshit. However, you can't do that because of his auto battle, so you just have to sit there and pray that he makes the right play. I don't know, Grizzly. I just wanted to really like get the point across. You know what I'm saying? That's basically it. No, yeah, exactly, Hafids. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, then like, even if meta players are a minority, like the people who watch my videos are a minority, that still doesn't get rid of the point that everything I make is objective, and nothing I say is a lie. Like people just get mad at my videos and mad at me for literally just saying the truth that they don't want to hear because they're completely fucking biased to the characters they have or like. What do you mean by my day auto battling? So once my day gets like this enhanced state, basically for the entirety of the fight he auto battles. You cannot control him. He always just spams the exact same attack over and over again for the rest of the fight, and you can't control him at all. Yeah, the Vendetta mode, yeah. Like, there's just nothing. All you can do is give him action advance and buffs, and that's basically it. And obviously, like, heal him and stuff. But you can't actually do anything with My Day himself. I agree, Exodius, but it is part of, like, growing your channel. You get a lot of viewers who are newer to your videos, and unfortunately, for some reason, this is what doesn't make sense to me, right? These so-called casual players will constantly go on videos about meta and like objectively like pull value and then complain about those people making those videos while watching every single one of them. Like in the first place, if they were casual players, they wouldn't be getting recommended my videos. Like I've already seen like what mainly YouTube like recommends to people. And the most common searches are people looking for guides and pull value like recommendations whenever they see my videos. Yeah. Like I've seen multiple of repeat offenders on my channel on other people's channels as well talking about, "Oh my god, you guys complain about power creep? Oh my god, you guys complain about HP inflation? Why are you calling the new character weak? Do you want them to be stronger?" They're repeat offenders on other people's channels as well. I mean, Exodius, that just is how it is. Like, gachas are targeted towards casuals. So even if, like, it's turn-based, where you'd think people would appreciate the gameplay more, for, like, its actual, like, knowledge that you need to do it, not really. Like, have you seen the people on TikTok that are struggling on the Aventurine Story boss? Like, back then, and even, like, the Nikador boss, and they're using, like, Blade plus Fei Shao plus Acheron plus like whoever the fuck else. Like that's the majority of the player base in this game. Yeah, Ben, that's another thing. My day gets significantly worse against enemies that don't hit that often. So like that MOC, has the best case scenario boss for him because he hits multiple times, like constantly. But against a boss that has like low speed and doesn't take many actions, My Day does significantly less overall damage. People should stop having wet dreams about their favorite gacha characters. I agree, but that is like a main appeal of the gacha games at the end of the day. I'm not gonna judge someone for the reason why they play a game. Because everyone has their own reasons. I mostly play HSR because of how time convenient it is. So when I play games like Fortnite that are really sweaty and like mechanically skilled, I like taking a break from it and playing something a little more easygoing. That's how I got into Honkai Star in the first place. Yeah, Ben, I have heard that My Day without his light cone is significantly worse. Also, I'd like to mention this for anyone who doesn't know this, right? The only sustain who can consistently sustain My Day without that MOC HP buff is Luocha currently. And when My Day dies and he revives, he loses every single buff you have on him. So that's one of the biggest issues with him currently is if you go against an enemy that attacks too frequently, which he should like, but the issue is you cannot sustain him like well enough, and you lose every single buff on him if he dies and does the revive. Like it's almost counterintuitive. You want him to be hit as much as possible, but if he's hit too much, then you lose buffs and you take longer to clear. Do you think HSR Lycones are becoming like Wuwa weapons? Yeah, basically Flogon, yeah. They're becoming a lot more necessary and their free to play options are like significantly worse. Like every Lycone these days is like a 30 to 40% difference, whether it be in like terms of quality of life or damage. Although the Herda does have a fine free to play option. I think if you have S1 of the Battle Pass Lycone, the signature is only like 15% better. It's mostly only for the skill point back. Like, at least for these 3.x characters, the Lycones are looking a lot more important than for like the 2.x ones. Like Triby's Lycone is so good that it's best in slot over Robin's own signature Lycone for Robin. Like 40. Mighty's a glass cannon, yeah, but he's a glass cannon who doesn't do enough damage and has a little too many flaws. Time to pull on Triby's Lycone. I mean, Triby doesn't need the Lycone. The Lycone just is good, though. I think, like, once you get the max stacks, you give your entire party 60% more crit damage, and you give Triby, like, 30% more, or 30 more energy back after ult. Peace out, guys. Peace out, ASAP. Is Tribby broken? I wouldn't say she's a broken or like a must pull, but she is good, which is good enough. I think she has a lot of future potential alongside like a Noxa. Any team that can use a sub DPS and doesn't use attack scaling can use her just fine. Yeah. Yeah. No line. Basically no line. A Noxa HP scaler? We don't know. We don't know anything about a Noxa. He might have defense shred and he's imaginary erudition. That's about all we know. And my gun didn't shoot. Aglaya could be erudition, would make no difference. No. Erudition can hit. Erudition characters, I think, can hit like all characters on field at once with at least one of their abilities. However, that doesn't apply to what's it called? That doesn't apply to Aglaya. She's a blast character who can only hit up to 3 enemies. I mean, once again, Paz don't mean shit, man. Like, Paz don't mean shit anymore. I wouldn't be surprised if Anoxa genuinely has defense shred as an erudition. Characters like Acheron or Blade have AoE while not being erudition. I mean, yeah, but like Nihility also hits like pretty much everyone. Like I'm saying erudition specifically has all characters that hit everyone on field. Not that other paths don't have the same thing. Incoming abundance DPS, it wouldn't be surprising. Like Ling Sha is basically a DPS and break, but they could easily, like now that there's a new abundance, they could easily power creep Ling Sha by just making a sustain that's good in like no matter what, like just normal damage. Ling Sha showcase, yeah, basically. I currently have 210 pulls and want to build a remembrance team. I have E0S on Sunday. Do you think it's worth pulling Aglaya and Castris? I think you should skip Aglaya. Casterus is gonna use the exact same best in slots as Aglaya, so there's not really any point. Your Sunday can only be on one team, and Sunday's gonna be the most important piece to the puzzle for both of those teams. I thought he was dead. Like, Casterus is probably gonna want Sunday at minimum for the action advance. And Aglaya wants him for the energy. And if Casterus also wants energy, then she's actually, like, better to have Sunday on. Oh, wow. What happens in the Hillary and Noxus kit? Nobody knows. That would probably be fine, Kuno. Probably be fine. Yeah, I think Anoxa will also be like an erudition debuffer that does like sub DPS damage numbers. That's what he's being like hyped up to be, basically. It would also fit because Tribi gives res pen and damage vulnerability, so Anoxa as well giving defense shred. I'm not gonna lie, like the Herda is gonna be fucking broken if he actually does give defense shred. Like it doesn't have to be as much in the leak since that's like a helping like boss fight. But if it's even like 20%, like that's still like a really good addition while also him doing damage himself. Why cannot they leak a Noxa kit? They just gatekeep it basically. And also, they might not have like a solid thing of his kit currently. I don't think a Noxa will also give energy. That would be too broken. Like that's too many buffs at once. Isn't he like 2 patches away? Yeah, he's the second phase of 3.2. And Castor should be the first phase. Did you see Phoebe buffs? No. I thought they would release Screwlum as a best in slot for Herda. Yeah. A lot of people thought it would be Screwlum, but it's looking to be a Noxa. I don't know about best in slot, but Aventurine should be good with the Herda. Like, even now he's good. Yeah, Screwlum will probably, like, at this point, people have been saying Screwlum's gonna come out since, like, the beginning of 2.x. Like, I don't even believe Screwlum leaks anymore at this point. It's basically the same as, like, those Sakura leaks that were randomly going around at one point. Either way, though, I like Anoxa more than I like Screwlum. Like, in terms of design, Anoxa has a way sicker looking design, in my opinion. The only thing that sucks is I might not be able to get a Noxa if I go for Sunday's Lycone. So I hope Casterus doesn't need skill point positivity, really. So I can just run without Sunday's Lycone. Is Tribby a must pull? No, she's not a must pull. She's just a good pull. In my opinion, there are no must pulls in this game. But she will have good value. If I fail to get Casterus, I'm going for a Noxa. That's understandable. If you don't pull for Tribby, wouldn't that let you save more pulls? Yeah, but I'm gonna nerf my Herda team if I put Robin in there, because I have to put Remembrance MC on my Casterus team. So I want to get Tribby, so I at least have like a good support for Herda. And then I can also use Remembrance MC and Sunday on the other teams. Because otherwise my Herda is going to be stuck with like a mid-ass support with Robin. Robin is good in like Herda sustainless teams, but she is not good as like the sole support of the team. Like, she's one of the weaker options. Casterus is going to be HP scaling. No, I didn't, Flogon. What was Casterus's crit rate stopping point? I don't know. With the relic set, you get 32% crit rate. With Sunday's passive, it's plus 20, and with RMC, it's plus 10. So you get 62% crit rate on a Casterus team, and that's without any substats or anything like that. Like, no substats, no main stats. That's just like normal shit. Yeah, she's probably also gonna have crit like traces as well to add on to it. Probably not Abby, no. The best in slot support for Casters will 100% be Sunday. Because Casters is so slow that what she needs the most is action advance. And the best hyper carry action advancer in the game currently is Sunday. Sunday will probably rerun on Casters' banner even if you don't have Sunday. Unless you plan to like just never pull him. I'm on 50 ping now. I can't fight this guy on 50 ping. Fuck. I have Sunday but no Lycone. Yeah, like I get a feeling Casters might be skill point hungry. That's kind of why I want Sunday's Lycone. And even outside of a Casters team, Sunday's still like really good with that Lycone, so. Like, how lucky do you have to get for that to happen? No one knows, Flogon. Like, no one knows. Yeah, I can't exactly predict like 8 patches into the future, unfortunately. Bro, I'm hitting blank after blank. Oh my god, how many am I gonna hit? Yeah, the light cone would probably for sure help with a caster's team unless she's somehow like SP neutral or SP positive. But when's the last time we had a SP neutral or SP positive DPS? The only recent one is my day. Holy shit. Like, why do I have to deal with this bullshit lag? Oh yeah, I guess Aglaya as well. But to be fair, Aglaya wants Woho, so her needing a support that feeds as much energy as possible kind of gets rid of it. I just got shot through a wall. I fucking hate this game, man. How is this a billion-dollar company? Hi, what is this stream? Just talking about some HSR stuff while I play Fortnite. Because there's nothing for me to do on HSR currently. Mem will be powercraft by Dark March 7th. I mean, I think it's fine since Remembrance MC is a free unit anyways. I could care less if he gets powercraft. It's just going to be another HMC fugue. situation. I'm not sure. I'm not sure who that is. Unfortunately, I can't look it up currently. Let me see if I can see it real quick. And my websites are taking. I can't see it, unfortunately. I'd like to see way more content in HSR. I think everyone agrees with you. The content in HSR is like incredibly stale. Do we have rerun leaks? No. There are, I think, some rerun leaks circling, but they aren't like reliable. They're just like guesses. No, I'm not going to stream Genshin. I quit that game a long time ago. Second Dawn Hung should be free? I don't know about that. I mean, it is a completely new form and shit. Zhao Q rerun for 3.1? That was one of my guesses. I was assuming Zhao Q rerun, like Yun Li, Ruan Mei, Huo Huo, Luocha, and then I don't know who the sixth would be. Blade rerun. I just don't think they'd rerun Blade. Like, I think if they ever rerun Blade, it will be on an HP supports banner and not another HP DPS's banner. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me to rerun Blade at all. Unless they fully plan to never make an HP support, then I guess it's fine to do it now. Sparkle rerun alongside My Day? Sparkle is just... yeah. I mean, if Silverwolf can get a rerun, Sparkle 100% can. Sparkle at least has more use than Silverwolf. Nah, same, Bowsette. When I pulled on Herta's Lycone, all of my old Lycone pity completely disappeared. Because it was so long before I last pulled on one. It would be funny if they reran Seal on Castros' banner 100%. I wish I could refund my 1.x DPS. I agree. I've mentioned this a few times in streams before, but I wish you could like refund old DPSs for like 40 to 50 limited pulls. Like I do that for a lot of characters on my account. Or not like only DPSs, but like any limited. But they never do that because that would make them lose money. They don't want to add any quality of life in the game that loses them money and makes the customer happier, so... Yeah. Like, I'd probably get rid of Fushuan, Kafka, Black Swan. Like, I'd get rid of Kafka's Lycone too. I'd probably get rid of Ruan Mei. I barely use my Ruan Mei. I have an E1S1 Ruan Mei and I don't use her because there isn't a break DPS on my account. What is going on? No, not Kafka. You need her for the 5.0 meta. I'm good, man. I'll probably quit the game by 5.0. Probably. Knowing me, I always end up getting burnt out at some point, and I just take like a long ass break. It'll probably happen again. I mean, Abby, the only two teams I have are Acheron and the only two teams I have are Acheron and Fei Xiao. Like, she's good on Dot, but Dot is so much worse than those two comps that there's no point. Like, just because she's universal doesn't mean she's the best in every single scenario. Being universal doesn't mean, like, good in every scenario. There's a reason why she's the most universal harmony, yet she barely gets any use anymore. Yo, quit HSR? No way, bro. You're there. I mean, probably at some point, yeah. Like, if anyone's an OG of my YouTube, I take breaks like very, very often to focus on like personal life and shit. Whenever I feel like I'm either getting too attached to the game or I have something more important to focus on IRL. I do it basically every time. I've been doing it since I was younger too. Isn't there any good HSR competitor? Not really. I've said this before, but if Kuro remade PGR with the exact same graphics and animations and like gameplay of Wuwa, but made it like a turn-based type of game, like they could easily give HSR competition. But I don't think Kuro exactly cares about that currently. I did it with Genshin to focus on Uni, and I ended up never playing it again. Yeah, exactly, noob. Like, I'm gonna be honest. When you are playing these gacha games, it is fun, right? It is nice. But whenever you take a, like, decent break from them, I'm not gonna lie, you don't really feel like coming back. Like, I'm probably sure this doesn't apply to everyone, but this really applies to me where if I take a break from like a game for a while, I won't feel the need to like ever play it again unless I'm like incredibly bored and there's nothing else to do. Yeah, I'd also refund Silverwolf. I forgot I had Silverwolf on my account. Because like another thing is I'm not like a lot of other content creators, you know what I'm saying? Not a single one of my videos is monetized, and I don't really give a shit about making money off YouTube. Um, so yeah, like a lot of people's motivation to like keep playing a game even if they don't like it is like making money off their videos to sustain like an extra income. But me personally, I could give less of a shit about that. Yeah, I wish they would implement a skip button. I would literally pay money for them to add a skip button to the game. I want Silverwolf to complete the Stellar on Hunter collection, but she's cooked. Yeah. I mean, if that's what you're really going for, hey, you know, it's nice for collection stuff, but she's just basically useless in the current state of the game. You make $1 every 1,000 views, yeah, and the longer your video is, the more you get paid for watch time as well. So like all these streams that I do and like the VODs, if I were getting paid, I think I would have made like 200 bucks, something like that. But 200 USD is like 300 Canadian. So it's actually like nice side money, but I could care less. The caveat to it is that I have to put ads on my videos, and my videos aren't anywhere near worth ads. Like I'm just gonna be honest. I would rather not put like I am probably the laziest gotcha content creator there is on this platform. Like I purposely don't edit my videos out of just complete laziness, not because I can't. How you should start giving me money for playing their game. Oh my god. No, yeah, I know Zen. I'm saying if I was partnered and I did like run one or two ads a video, like that's usually how much I make. I mean, I'll probably do it at some point, but I just don't feel like doing it right now, not gonna lie. If you quit HSR, what would HSR do for you to change your mind and come back? Literally nothing. I would have to just become bored enough again to play the game casually again, and that's about it. Like, yeah, like there's nothing they could do, nothing at all. That's just how I am with games. Like it's the same with Fortnite. Even though you guys see me playing Fortnite now, I didn't touch this game for like damn near a year straight at one point because I simply stopped playing it for a little while, and then I never felt the need to ever come back until I was bored and my friends like basically begged me to get on the game, and then we started playing more often again. I just really like taking time to myself and like IRL, and there's nothing I value more than that. Like I don't value games or anything like that above it. When are you coming back to Anime Vanguards? Probably never. Unless, like, once again, I get bored. 90% of the time, whenever I get back into games or content creation or anything like that, it's because I'm bored. Not out of any motivation or anything like that. That's a healthy mindset? Yeah. Like, I should probably tell you guys this. The reason why I have this mindset is because when I was a lot younger, I was addicted to video games when I was a lot younger. And so whenever I start to feel like I'm becoming too attached to a video game, I instantly leave it, basically. Like when I was younger, I used to be like really fat and like I used to be pretty unhealthy. I'd be pretty fat and I'd only drink Coke every day, and I'd basically play games 24/7 for like 5 years straight. What if they added a roadmap, a skip button, lowered power creep, and improved storytelling? Would you come back then? No, probably not. How old are you now? 20. By younger, I mean like 11 or 12, even younger. Face reveal when? Whenever I feel like it. If I ever feel like it, that is. I'm not one, like, I never take pictures of myself. I don't really like the attention. Like, I don't want to hear other people's opinions on what I look like. I could care less for it. What's the story behind your YouTube profile picture? Uh, Capybaras are like my spirit animal. And so when I was randomly deciding what profile picture to use for my YouTube channel, like usually, like especially in the Fortnite community, when I first made my YouTube channel, almost everyone uses like anime profile pictures, but I don't actually like anime profile pictures all that much. So I decided to use a shitpost one, and I looked up capybara, and that was pretty much it. Like I just like capybaras. They're like, they look fluffy, cute, huge. Um, they look chill. That's the most important part. They just low key live life. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got a Glock in my Rari. Exactly. Coke every day? Yeah, I used to drink a lot of Coke. I mean, I still drink Coke today, but it's usually only diet. And for the most part, I drink milk and water these days. Shitpost PFPs are great. I agree. That's why I like the profile picture. There has been once in a while where I've thought to changing it to something like more like official. You know what I'm saying? Like something people can recognize me by. But then I just remember like the capybara code, and I changed my mind. I always keep it. I recognize you by this. Hey, that's nice to hear. That's nice to hear. Yeah, exactly, noob. Yeah. Although for me, it like when I was an addict, it didn't really affect my grades in the slightest, but it was just very unhealthy. If anything, my grades were actually better back then. Nah, this shit is peak. Keep it. All right. I'm not sure, Flogon. Penguins are better. I don't really like penguins. Penguins are a little aggressive at times, and even though their environment is more close to what I'd prefer, because I really do love winter. Winter's my favorite season. I like the cold wind. I like having snow in my hand, but you know what I'm saying? Bye, chat. Have fun, everyone. See you later, Kunal. Same, even though we don't get snow here. Yeah, like I usually leave my window like every time it's winter. I like leaving my window open, like enough to where I don't get sick overnight, but like the cold breeze I just really appreciate. You gotta be the most honest gotcha creator in the space. I don't know. I can't agree with it because I don't know or watch many gotcha content creators at all. But I do think I am like more honest than most probably. Summer makes me lazy. I agree. Yes. I think the heat from summer makes me not want to do shit at all every single time. I much prefer cold over heat. Oh, really, Alam? Yeah, I live in Canada, so we always get like 3 or 4 months with snow and like cold. However, it hasn't been as cold as it could be in like the recent years. Like I'm pretty sure a few years prior, it used to be we used to get a lot colder days and a lot more snow for a lot more often. But these days it's like hotter for longer and not as cold. Like even when it's like -10 or -20, like it's not that bad. I can still like go outside with only a hoodie. But like back in the old days, like -30s and -40s were pretty consistent. Global warming is crazy, yeah. I'm not like my cousin though. My cousin, I don't know if he does this on purpose to show off or if it's like an actual thing. But my cousin can go out in like -30 weather with like a t-shirt somehow. I don't know how he does it, but hey, it's whatever. Last time I'd seen snow was in 2017. Snow is so underrated, man. I really love snow. It can be like really annoying to people who have to like drive to work and shit like that. Cause snow can just make traffic a lot worse than it has to be. But outside of that, I think it's like really nice. He's a show off. I mean, yeah, that's the possibility I've thought of. But he's kept doing it for like years and years on end. And sometimes I don't feel like he's showing off, so it's like maybe he just really does love using a t-shirt, or maybe he just wants to challenge himself or something like that. It's very common, especially when we were kids, to try and look good or cool doing that stuff. Your bro thinks he's an anime character. I mean, maybe. Let me check the Honkai Star Rail leak Reddit and see if there's like anything new. Oh, is it broken? Yeah, my web browser literally stopped working. Someone asked me earlier why I couldn't search up like HSR whatever what it was. My browser just stopped working earlier. I have to use a different browser. There we go. Honkai Star Rail leaks. There is nothing. Only the updated animation for the new boss. That's about it. This is why I use Brave. I was using Firefox. Firefox is the one that crashed on me. I had to go on Google Chrome. You should start doing account reviews. It could be funny. I do want to do account reviews at some point. The issue is that I don't think I'm intelligent enough to do account reviews. Like, I don't think I'm like worthy of it yet. Because I feel like there isn't enough for me to make content off of. Because like, I don't want to call people out at the end of the day, right? It's their own motto of doing things. But I'm usually not someone to like over exaggerate things for too long. Like reactions and shit. So I can't really make much content out of someone's account unless I'm like absolutely like exaggerating everything. I pay $5 for you to see my E2S1 Sparkle. Oh my goodness. E2S1 Sparkle. Poor soul. You can just laugh at people's accounts. I mean, that is true. I probably could laugh at a lot of people's accounts. Especially those who, like, maybe have high Eidolon investments in, like, early 1.x DPSs that aged really badly. Like Jing Yuan and, like, all that other stuff. Like, probably. I've just never thought of doing account reviews before. Because I'm too lazy to do a Discord. I don't like using social media. Talking to people is like a bit of a drag for me. A big reason why I'm fine with streaming is because it's basically me talking to myself and people asking for questions on my brain. But like in normal conversation, it's pretty annoying to me. E2 Silverwolf, there we go. There we go, guys. E2 Silverwolf in the big 2025. Jing Yuan H better than the other 1.0 DPSs? Yeah, I agree. But the early DPS Eidolons are pretty ass. Only, like, Dill is the only exception for that. E2 Kafka. I mean, at least the dot characters get a lot stronger with their E1s. But I'm not sure about the E2s. Yeah, Ruan Mei was the first limited harmony in the game, so it makes sense. But, yeah. I definitely laugh when you review my account. I might try it at some point. I won't make any promises, though. I don't like promising things when I don't fully mean them. But I'll for sure consider it. E4 Yang Qing took me a month, really? I don't even know what Eidolon I have my Yang Qing on HSR. Yeah, does have some hope with Cypher. But I've already mentioned this to people before who have said the same thing and like asked me for my opinion on it. I think Kafka might get an indirect buff with like a new dot support, but that dot support will be way better paired with like a new dot main DPS. I think Kafka is just too dated. Like Black Swan, Huo, Ruan Mei, all of those are fine in a dot team still. It's just that Kafka doing like 2 to 300k damage per ult is like basically she's stuck in Penacony, bro. She's stuck in like Penacony MOCs. Back when like main boss HP was only like 1 million. Now we're in like 2, 3, 4 millions. You know what I'm saying? It's just not enough. A6 Jingle U owners grinding in the corner? Yeah. I don't even have Himiko yet, bro. I didn't have Himiko either. Like, my account didn't get Himiko until that, like, free standard selector thingy. That's when I finally got Himiko. The account is from 1.0, by the way. Literally has seal on it. No Himiko until now. Yeah, Kafka is just 100% holding back dot. It's the biggest problem. Way too weak of a main DPS. Actually, I want to see something. I'm gonna look at the HP inflation chart and try to find Kafka's MOC. Hom DG cats. Does anybody know Kafka released in like 1.6, right? Or like 1.5 or something like that? So she should be. No, we're not talking about the boss Kafka. We're talking about like actual character Kafka release MOC 1.2. Oh. So, wow. So floor 12 wasn't even a thing at the time, right? Well, the earliest I can go for floor 12 is 3.6 million HP, and current MOC is at 15 million. So, yeah, it's a pretty big difference. It's a lot harder for Kafka to clear. Only floor 10? Yeah. Nice, Exodius. Will you do account reviews for HSR and WUWA? I've already said that I'll consider it, but I'm not gonna make any promises. No. No. There's no way if I play HSR that I play any other game. Probably. HSR, like, I don't think it gets any more time convenient than this, while also enjoying the characters and gameplay. Like, I think WUWA is objectively a better game than HSR, but the reason I play HSR is because of how convenient it is. I don't think Enfield is as convenient. Yeah, it could be fun, but I just don't care. I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm getting pretty sick of like constantly playing new games. And right now, I just want to do whatever I'm most comfortable with. And that's just Fortnite and Honkai Star Rail currently. I know it is an open world, but it's still like you have to move around and all that stuff. Like, I don't want to play more gachas anyways. I'm not gonna lie. I really like only playing one gacha over like two or three at the exact same time. Like, I never want to do that again. Yeah. I agree, Exodius, but I can't even give that many tips on it. Like, I just wish the billion-dollar company would add more content to the game than 8 hours of dialogue, shitty ass still frames, not actually giving any cutscene for a lot of important dialogue drops. Like, I'm not gonna lie, HSR or Hoyo is probably like the most pathetic billion-dollar gaming company in the entirety of the world in terms of like what content they provide. Like even EA isn't this bad. Like EA is incredibly greedy and predatory, but even their games genuinely have better content. $100% agree, yeah. Like I've already mentioned this before, but like gotcha games are like the most low effort, easy money like type of market to like capture ever. Like you don't even need good graphics. You don't need good gameplay. You just need like some really good gooner bait and you're honestly set. You're honestly set. Like all you need is good gooner bait and that shit can make millions a month. Other content and events are going to ZZZ. Yeah, they are focusing a lot more on ZZZ than like the other games. Like this is what they always do. Whenever they release a new game after ZZZ, then their focus will go over that to that new game instead of ZZZ, and that new game will get like better quality of life and all the other stuff. Yeah, K70, I agree. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like, I then again, I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that because gotchas have such low content. They're incredibly like time convenient, and especially HSR specifically. Like that is probably the easiest game in the world to play. Like for an entire month and a half for a patch, you can play the game like every day for like only 30 minutes, even less, maybe like 10 minutes a day. And you'll still have enough time to get through the entirety of the story quest in a patch because of how little content there is. So in one way, it's a plus for like the really casual people who don't have much time on their hands or simply don't like playing games all that much. But outside of that, it's pretty much a no. Isn't ZZZ struggling compared to the other two, even though it gets more love? I wouldn't say it's struggling, but compared to Genshin and HSR, it is for sure not doing as well, I'm pretty sure. I simply think that ZZZ is more simple than HSR and Genshin in terms of like character design. And also like I'm not sure if it's still the same, but when I played the beta of the ZZZ, it felt like the game was basically playing itself for me. Like it would auto the like combo thingies with like characters on your team every single time, and like basically like the AI would do everything. I don't know. Yeah, hot dog. It's not that bad. There's no auto in ZZZ. No, I'm not saying ZZZ has an auto. I'm saying that like the whatever combo attack, I don't remember what it's called. Like the combo chain attack with like your teammates in ZZZ. Like it used to do it by itself. Like it's not like where you had to like get rotations in Genshin or like do action advance and plan like anything in HSR. Like the game just told you and then it gave you like an entire second to click one button or like 2 seconds to click one button and then it did it itself. Yeah, yeah. The difficulty spikes have made it so you can't spam anymore, but yeah, it's released about its core. Yeah. I have heard that Miyabi is already like really bad power creep. Apparently people are saying that it's not going to happen in the future, because Miyabi's an exception and she's like some type of hunter. But like, boys, learn your lesson. At some point, you just have to learn your lesson, man. you, you just have to realize it's gonna come. It's gonna come. Pro still live after I came from classes. Hello, Angel. I'll probably end soon. I shouldn't have streamed this long in the first place. It was supposed to be a short stream, and then right after I'd go to sleep, but I ended up talking with people who've been here. It's nice. It's the same Animator Cope, yeah. Like, the thing is, they're like, oh, this is only like a one-time occurrence, because this Emanator is really important to the story, and then we get another future Emanator. Boom. They're like the newest best DPS drop. Then we get another future Emanator, and now they power creep everyone. It's like, it's basically a never-ending cycle. Yeah, I also think it'll become bad in CCC. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think power creep ever was a problem in HSR until Acheron, which was Anniversary 2.1, so a year later. But the fact that Miyabi released before the ZZZ anniversary is a bit wild. Like, already experiencing Acheron levels of power creep, and it's not even the anniversary yet, is actually like a worse sign than HSR. Yeah, even though Genshin has the shittiest quality of life, the shittiest open world movement, the shittiest, most predatory gacha banners of any Hoyo game, the plus is that most of the characters are still viable today. And they have a lot of good 4 stars that you can use as well. Basically, the only good 4 star that's like viable consistently in multiple teams is Gallagher right now in Honkai Star Rail. It's basically the only one. Ellen got power cut before she could get her first rerun. Yeah, I remember actually. I instantly spent on the monthly pass for ZZZ in its beta, or like when it first released, so that I could afford Ellen, because I lost the 50/50 for Ellen, and I think I also lost the 75/25 for the weapon, and I had to spend money to get her in time. So it sucks to hear that she got completely worse. The pennant of HSR, yeah. 75/25 loser. Guys, please chill on me. Please chill on my shitty ass gacha luck. No, I agree, Ben. I've actually been telling people this. Like, if you're free to play in HSR specifically, I think like the first 3 or 4 patches of like an arc of patches, like 1.x, 2.x, 3.x, that's when you actually like get your new comps and your new characters, and then the rest of the patches literally just skip. Save your jades for the 4.x when the power creep is actually gonna hit like more significantly, and then like you can start pulling for new comps again. That was my number one advice for free to play players. Because like if you did the same thing in 2.x, you would have been able to get an Acheron and Firefly comp, and then you just pull their supports down the line, like Jiaoqiu and Fugue. And currently, Acheron with Jiaoqiu and Firefly with Fugue are like two of the strongest teams in the entirety of the game, even now in 3.x. So I think that's just the best way to go. So in Penacony, it was Acheron and Firefly. I think for 3.x, it'll be Castris and Phanon. I agree, Jay, but like it doesn't really matter what we want. I agree. I also don't want casters to power creep. I literally want them to prove me wrong and make like the next 3 or 4 DPSs all like a similar power level so that the HP inflation just stops and like it's more about like certain mechanics that a DPS might have where you can clear faster depending on your knowledge and skill. But realistically, she is the anniversary drop. She releases right after My Day, and she's also an HP scaling DPS. And I'm not gonna lie, if you've seen those Casterus animations, you bet your ass they want to sell her. Those that's easily the best animation in the entirety of the game. And according to the leakers, that's not even the full animation. It got cut. There's a really high chance that Casterus ends up being an Acheron level, like, difference in terms of power creep. How much did the Nika Door boss have for HP in the next MOC? I think it's like 8 million. A little over 8 million if I remember correctly. However, his mechanics make it significantly easier than it looks. Like in reality, his 8 million is like a 2 million effective health. Oh, 6.2 million? 6.2 then. Yeah, I think Herda and Castris are both looking like better options than My Day. And then Herda as well has her best in slot teammates in 3.1 and 3.2. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? One's just a stronger DPS of the same archetype, and the other one's a stronger DPS and is an Emanator. So they get more future teammate support. Like, we don't even know if there's going to be an HP support yet in the game. There isn't a single leak about it. So there's 100% a chance that My Day doesn't get any buffs in the future. Like, maybe by Hyacine being a sustain, but even then, that's not like a My Day buff. That's just an HP scaling buff that would go for Castris as well. Yeah. I mean, I called it. Even before we had the Castris leaks, I was like, Aglaea's the first Path of Remembrance. The best Remembrance supports are RMC and Sunday. So that means, especially with Castris being incredibly slow, you're probably going to want a really good Remembrance DPS action advancer. And the two best Remembrance DPS action advancers in the game are RMC and Sunday. Like, you just put the puzzles pieces together, and then it got confirmed by the leakers. Like, Aglaya uses the exact same best in slot team as casters. Nothing you can do about it. $100 understandable, Jay. I'm only getting Tribby because I don't want to put Robin on my Herda team. That's basically the only reason. Actually, nah. Yeah, no. Will you pull Tribi E0 or more? More probably only E0. That's understandable, Ben. The reason why I feel like if I get E2 Herda, I'll probably like it'll probably be fine. Can you play with Herda without the Tribi? Yes. But the thing is that Tribi, like outside of just the pure damage buff, Tribi allows Herda to get ult off significantly faster. Like there isn't another support in the game that can hit mobs on field, and that is extremely niche value for the Herda. Like even if we're not including like Tribi being an overall better damage buffer with her vulnerability and res pen, like the extra stack she builds up, the damage she herself does, and the ER she gives, I think makes up for a lot of Herda stuff. Like I'd say Tribi is probably better than pulling like E1 plus Lycone on Herda probably. Like that's just a guess currently, and I'd say she's slightly weaker than Herda's E2. Yeah, her Lycone is really good. RMC can replace Tribi. Yeah, but like the issue me and a lot of other people are running into is that you want to have RMC on any summon DPS's team or like Remembrance DPS's team, which is the issue. Like I'm gonna be fine using Remembrance MC on my E2 Herda, like hypothetically just fine, until I get Castris and I have to put RMC on my fucking other team. Because Robin without her Lycone takes a lot longer to get her ult off, and Tribi's Lycone. Like, I didn't know this before because I never really watched like many showcases with Robin with her Lycone, but Mr. Pokey, like Mr. Pokey himself said that, I was watching his stream yesterday, and he was mentioning how playing with E0 S0 Robin felt significantly worse than the E2 S1 he has on his account because he's not able to get ult off consistently enough, and it becomes awkward with skill points because you have to spam skill on Robin to get her ult up as quick as possible. Yeah, anyone who like spams ult very often, so like the Herda and Argenti, that's why that's such a good comp currently. Argenti spams his ult almost like faster than any other character in the game. And after that is like the Herda and obviously like smaller additions and stuff like that. So Argenti and the Herda with Tribi is genuinely like one of the most broken comps in the entirety of the game currently. I hope Anoxa is also like a really low cost ult. Yeah. Like not even only in pure fiction. There's also people using it in MOC and APOC to hit like record clears Exodius. Like with an E2 Herda, I think you can get a 0 AV clear in APOC with an Argenti team. And in MOC, it's a lot easier to zero cycle with Argenti on the team. Noxa won't have low cost ult. I mean, it's possible. Like, it's 100% possible. If he's actually meant to be like a best in slot for the Herda, they can just make his ult like not do much, but be low cost. I feel vindicated for pulling Argenti now. Yeah. Argenti havers will finally be able to use him as a battery on the Herdas team. I don't think so, Bron. I don't think they'll try to make DP like it's different. Like Tribby just came out, Robin released in like 2.2. If anything, they'll make DPSs more reliant on respen and other shit that Tribby gives and vulnerability, so that Tribby performs better with newer teams and more people pull for her on her next rerun. And then after that rerun, I could see them possibly doing that. But damage vulnerability is something I don't think they'd put in any DPS's kit. I think damage vulnerability is like easily the most broken debuff in the entirety of the game. So I don't see them doing that. Like putting vulnerability in a base kit for a DPS is like actually insane levels of power creep. Yeah. Like I do think Tribby, like her best value isn't currently in 3.1, but I think a few patches after 3.1, there will be a lot of characters that can take advantage of her, or maybe even right like as I mentioned earlier, if Anoxa does good enough damage and he has low cost of an ult, Tribby's best partner will probably be alongside Anoxa, like main DPS, sub DPS plus Tribby, because you'll be able to get Tribby's follow-ups off a lot more often the more of a low ult cost character you have on the team. Yeah, exactly, Alam, yeah. I think the harmonies, like Tribby and Sunday, 3 patches to rerun, maybe Tribby 4 at max, and the DPS is probably like 4 or 5 patches to rerun. That's usually how it is currently. Alright, guys, I'm gonna end the stream here. I'm really tired. I really need to get some sleep. Thank you all for being here. I have been playing Fortnite the majority of the day. Having 40 viewers while playing Fortnite is, pretty nice. So I appreciate you all. I'm gonna get off now. Have a good day. Have a good night.